First we discuss the author introduction and then next move to novel. Nadine Gordimer, 1923–2014, was a renowned South African writer who wrote honestly about apartheid, racial injustice, and human relationships under political pressure. Born into a white family, she strongly opposed apartheid and used her writing as a form of resistance. Many of her works were banned in South Africa because they exposed the cruelty of racial segregation. In 1991, she received the Nobel Prize in Literature for her deep psychological portrayal of society divided by race and power. July's People is one of her most important novels because it imagines the collapse of apartheid and shows how such a change affects ordinary human lives. July's People is set in South Africa during a violent black revolution against white rule. The story begins after the outbreak of civil war, when white neighborhoods are attacked and destroyed. Bam Smales, his wife Maureen, and their children are forced to flee the city to save their lives. With no safe place left, they take shelter in the rural village of July, their black servant. This sudden movement from the city to the village marks a complete change in their social and emotional world. In the village, the Smales experience a painful loss of comfort, identity, and authority. They live in mud huts, lack privacy, and depend on July for food, safety, and communication. Their education, money, and social status become useless. Although July still calls them master and madam, the power relationship has completely changed. The Smales now survive only because of July's help, showing a clear reversal of roles. Maureen Smales suffers the most from this change. She feels humiliated and emotionally disturbed because she can no longer control her life or her surroundings. Through her experience, Gordimer exposes the weakness of white liberalism. Maureen realizes that her kindness toward black people existed only when she was protected by power. When that power disappears, her fear and insecurity replace her sense of fairness. Bam Smales tries to adjust by becoming practical and silent. He hunts animals and avoids emotional conflict, but his role as a provider and authority figure slowly disappears. His masculinity and confidence decline, and he becomes distant from his family. Bam represents the fall of white male dominance that apartheid once guaranteed. July undergoes a quiet but powerful transformation. He does not openly challenge the Smales, yet he gradually becomes confident and independent. He controls the car and decides important matters without seeking permission. July finally belongs to his land and his people, symbolizing the rise of black identity after years of oppression. The novel ends with uncertainty when a helicopter appears in the sky. Maureen runs toward it alone, leaving her family behind. The reader never knows whether the helicopter brings rescue or danger. This ambiguous ending reflects the uncertain future of South Africa after apartheid and highlights the fear and confusion that come with sudden political change. In conclusion, July's People is a powerful novel that explores race, power, and human relationships during times of crisis. Nadine Gordimer shows that political change deeply affects personal lives and exposes hidden fears and inequalities. The novel suggests that true equality is difficult and unsettling, especially for those who once lived with privilege. Thank you so much for listening and watching.